Hello and welcome to the new spatialframe.com. With a more intuitive look and feel, navigating the software just got easier. In a few simple steps, even the most challenging fractures or deformities can be corrected. Let's take a closer look. To log in, simply enter your username and password. Once logged in, you'll notice that the new home page looks a bit different. This is where all of the cases you create and the cases sent to you from others will be stored. On the My Cases tab, you can see the case name, the correction area, the date in which the case was last modified, and the number of days remaining in the prescription. The icons in the far right column under Actions allow you to send a case, duplicate a case, and delete a case. You also have the ability to determine the number of cases per page that you'd like to view, or you can filter your cases by year. The search feature allows you to search by case name or correction area. For example, if you would like to search for a correction of a left tibia, simply type in the word left into the search box and you will be shown all results containing the word left. To clear the search results, delete the text from the search box and click on the Search My Cases button. To view cases from others, simply click on the Cases from Others tab to the right of the My Cases tab. To begin a new case, you can select the gray tab in the menu bar or the green box on the far right-hand side of the page. Let's open an actual case now. This is the page that you will see when you create a new case. You will be required to name the case and enter a date. Entering information into the case ID and case notes fields is optional. Next, you will select your correction area by clicking on the skeleton man. For this case, we've selected the proximal diaphysis. However, you may also choose from the proximal metaphysis, mid-diaphysis, distal diaphysis, or distal metaphysis. We will come back to the foot programs in a few minutes. After you select the correction area and region, you will then select your operating mode, either total residual or chronic. We are now ready to move to the next step. On the deformity page, you will select the reference fragment and enter the deformity measurements. The deformity measurements required have not changed from the old software program. What has changed is the graphical image you see on this page. In the old software, colored dowels were used to represent the reference fragment and the moving fragment. Now, you will see a skeletal representation of the correction area you have chosen. You still, however, have the option of choosing the dowel view. As you enter your deformity measurements, the image will readjust to reflect the data you have entered. For example, watch what happens when we change our angulation from 15 degrees valgus to 15 degrees varus. The image automatically adjusts. To switch between views, simply click anywhere in the blue boxes marked AP View, Lateral View, and Axial View. Below these view boxes, you'll note a checkbox with the text reading Apply Axial Translation First. If you select this box, the software will correct the axial translation deformity before correcting any angulation or rotation. This feature is really beneficial if you were trying to bring two segments out to length first. In the old software, you had to run two programs, one to distract and one to correct angulation and rotation. Now the software can do both in one program. Let's continue on. From the frame page, you will select what size rings and struts you use to build the frame. Once you've selected the type of ring, you will only see available sizes for that particular ring. In the old software, all available rings and ring sizes were on the same drop-down menu. After selecting the strut sizes, continue on to step 4. From the mount page, you will enter the reference ring settings. These settings have not changed from the old software. Again, you will see a skeletal representation of the correction area and placement of the reference ring based upon the data you've entered. You can also switch between views by simply clicking anywhere in the blue boxes marked AP view, lateral view, and axial view. In the next step, you will enter your initial strut settings and click on Calculate Final Settings. Final strut settings are calculated based on the information you've entered into the program. If we scroll down, you will see a summary of the initial strut settings, the final strut settings, what the initial frame looks like in the AP, lateral, and axial views, and what the final frame looks like in the AP, lateral, and axial views. Our final step is to enter a structure at risk and determine a correction time. The structure at risk is now defined by a yellow dot. After entering in your structure at risk data, you must enter your maximum safe distraction rate and click on the Calculate icon. If you want to manually override the correction time, you can do so by selecting the Override Correction Time checkbox and entering your desired correction time. Once all information on this page is complete, you will continue on to the prescription page. From this page, you have the ability to customize each prescription based on patient needs. Here, you can enter the contact information for your clinic or nurse. In the Notes field, you can enter anything from pin site care to instructions on strut adjustments. If we move down the page, you'll see that you can change the prescription start date if there is a latency period by typing in the text box or expanding the calendar. You also have the ability to create a printer-friendly PDF version of the prescription. If we scroll down the prescription, you will see a gray bar with the text Axial Translation Complete. Up until this point in the prescription, the software has corrected axial translation only. Once axial translation has been corrected, the software will then correct the remaining deformity. In the Action column, you will see two icons. By clicking on the magnifying glass, you can view the prescription on any given day. A pop-up screen will appear that shows the strut settings for that day and what the frame should look like in the AP, lateral, and axial views. The TR icon represents total residual. If you need to start a second correction, simply click on the TR icon, name your total residual case, and select the Create New Total Residual button. The software automatically names the total residual program the same name as the initial program, -second correction. You can modify the name by typing in the text box. When a total residual program is created, all information from the initial program is automatically transferred except for the deformity measurements. So you will be required to re-enter the new deformity measurements, but you will not need to re-enter information on the frame page or the mount page, as this information has not changed. On the strut settings page, the initial strut settings are the strut settings from the day that you chose to begin the new total residual. We will now return to the My Cases tab and review some of the new features in the Foot software. The new Foot software has a preview feature that allows you to preview the type of frame being built. You can select from a 6x6 miter frame, a 6x6 butt frame, or 6+6 frame. We will revisit the ankle frame momentarily. In the preview window, you will notice that some of the struts are colored orange. The orange struts represent the struts that are adjustable in the Foot program that you've indicated. The information required for the Foot programs is the same as what you've just seen in the long bone case. Let's return to the My Cases tab and open an ankle case. When correcting an equinus contracture of the ankle in the old software, you had to choose a tibia correction. Now, you will simply choose ankle contracture from the Foot correction type. Please note there is no region selection. In other words, you are not given an option of choosing hindfoot, midfoot, or forefoot. Another difference with the new ankle program is the terminology for lateral view angulation. In the old software, you had to choose from apex posterior or apex anterior. Now, you select from dorsal flexion or plantar flexion. This concludes our overview of the Foot software. Let's return to the My Cases tab to view a legacy case. A legacy case is a case that was created in the old software but has now been transferred over to the new software. The first time you open a legacy case, you will see a text box asking if you'd like to upgrade your correction area. If you choose OK, you will select your correction area and region from the skeleton man and continue on through the program as we've done previously in this demonstration. If you select No Thanks, you will only be able to see dowel views in that particular case. The skeletal view will not be available. If you decide at a later date that you'd like to upgrade the case, you can visit the Case Info page and select Upgrade Your Selection Area. There are just a few more features that we'd like to point out in this demonstration. For our international customers, you now have the option to change your date format preference. Simply click on the Account tab in the upper right-hand corner. Find the Date Format Preference drop-down box and select the alternate date format. On this page, you can also update your personal information or change your password. To access more information about TAYLOR Spatial Frame, click on the Resources tab and you can download the available information. You may also search for Smith+Nephew sponsored educational courses by clicking on the www.orthomeetings.com link. This concludes our demonstration of the new spatialframe.com software. The new software will be available on March 21st, 2011. For a limited time only, you can test drive the new software by visiting the www.spatialframe.com homepage and selecting the Click Here link. You must register for a temporary username and password to enter the test site. The test site will be available for a limited time only. Cases created and saved in the test software will not be available once the official site goes live. The test site is for demonstration purposes only. For questions, please contact your local Smith+Nephew sales representative. Thank you.